Jesus Christ, the black Messiah, was a black man.
That's right.
But guess what? Timothy, my question is, you might say, well, it doesn't matter. Right? That's what you might say, right? Somebody might say, one might say that. Well, it doesn't matter. So if it doesn't matter, why not show him in his true image? Why do we see this in the churches?
Bring it out.
If it doesn't matter, I don't care what he looks like. It doesn't matter what he looks like. Well, where did this come from? The Israelites. Have you heard that Jesus Christ is a black man? You ever heard that? All right. So we're going to start with that. So what we do, Timothy, is we use the Bible, right, to connect the dots of our history. Because our history is lost. Our history is scattered, right? Because of slavery, the diaspora, things like of that sort. But guess what? Our history is in the Bible. Our history is prophecy. What we see today in Raleigh is prophecy being fulfilled. Why our people are living on the streets is prophecy being fulfilled. Why? Because we did not obey our Father. Read what you got. So we're going to show you the revelation of Jesus Christ. Because you said you never heard that. Read.
Revelation chapter 1 and verse 1. The revelation of Jesus Christ.
So Timothy, the word of revelation means to reveal, right? Or we about to show. That's the root word, revelation, right? Read on.
Which God gave unto him to show unto his servants things which must shortly come to pass.
So the Most High gave John the Revelator this vision, right? Jump on down. Read.
Verse 14. His head and his hairs were white like wool.
Timothy, this is a depiction of Christ, right? It said his head and his hairs were white like wool. Timothy, what texture is your hair?
It's like wool.
Wool. What color is it?
Black.
Black, but
Salt, pepper, yeah.
it's a little peppered, right? So it's white and woolly, right? This is going into the depiction of Jesus Christ, right? Read on.
His head and his hairs were white like wool.
So his head and his hairs, because he kept a beard, right? Because that's a law. Were white and woolly, right? Read.
As white as snow.
White as snow. Read.
And his eyes were as a flame of fire.
His eyes were as a flame of fire. Give me Genesis 49:12. So we got to understand the Bible go precept upon precept, meaning to explain certain scriptures, you got to go to another scripture just to get the full understanding, right? Do you know why his eyes were as a flame of fire? All right. Guess what? The Bible explains itself. Read.
Genesis chapter 49 and verse 12. His eyes shall be red with wine.
You ever drunk some wine and the whites of your eyes turn red? Yes. Now go back to Revelations 1. So that's what happened. What was Jesus of Christ's first miracle? He turned water to what? Wine. He wasn't a glutton or a drunkard, as the scribes and Pharisees accused him to be, but he did drink in moderation. It is okay to drink wine so long as you drink in moderation, right? Read.
And his feet like unto fine brass.
So Timothy, now we're explaining Jesus Christ's feet, right? What color is brass?
It's like color of gold.
A color of gold, right? Well, guess what? It's more to it. Read.
And his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burned in a furnace.
As if what?
As if they burned in a furnace.
As if they burned in a furnace. You burn anything in a furnace, it's going to come out a dark, dark color. Jesus Christ, the black Messiah, was a black man.
That's right.
But guess what? Timothy, my question is, you might say, well, it doesn't matter. Right? That's what you might say, right? Somebody might say, one might say that. Well, it doesn't matter. So if it doesn't matter, why not show him in his true image? Why do we see this in the churches?
Bring it out.
If it doesn't matter, I don't care what he looks like. It doesn't matter what he looks like. Well, where did this come from?
Right, bring it out.
It doesn't matter though. So if it does matter, because your oppressor or your enemy does not want you to know how great you truly are.
Right.
They don't want you to know that the greatest man to ever bless this planet was a black man.
Right.
And not just him, Song of Solomon 1 and 5. The wisest king that ever lived. Who was that? Do you know? Not Nebuchadnezzar, no. No. Try again. All right, you ever heard King Solomon? King Solomon, right? My brother, we going over the plaque in the Bible. Our forefathers, right? Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, even going to the great Messiah, Christ was all black men. From the beginning of the Bible to the end, it talks about black men, black women, black children, our history. But we're showing how today in 2024, our history has been stripped and hidden from us because they don't want to know how great we truly are. They want to keep us oppressed. They want to keep us down. But prophecy is going to build us back up. Read.
Song of Solomon, chapter 1 and verse 5. I am black, but comely.
Yeah, ever heard that terminology? I'm black and beautiful? This is where it came from. I am what?
I am black, but comely.
Comely means handsome. That's what comely means. So King Solomon, right? One of the wisest kings, one of the richest kings to ever be on the earth, right? Says he is what?
I am black, but comely. O ye daughters of Jerusalem.
Oh, you daughters of Jerusalem. Read.
As the tents of Kedar.
So the tents of Kedar, these are tents that were in that region around that time, which were very dark tents. So he's making a comparison. King Solomon is saying, I am black like the tents of Kedar. So what we're showing you is people in the Bible. And who was Solomon? Who was Solomon's father? Y'all know? Y'all heard of King David. He slayed Goliath with the sling, right? King David. That's his son. Solomon is King David's son. So King David was, if Solomon is saying he's black, what color is King David? Black. Numbers 1:18. Because you got to understand, and we might say, oh, it's a mixed race today, we don't know who's what. No, it's always based on the lineage of your father. You are what your father is, just like we are what our father is. So it's no misinterpretation of the Bible. You can never do that. It would never be a contradiction in the Bible. What the contradiction could be is how it was taught. Because if the Bible in the wrong hands will destroy somebody because you will not be able to teach them correctly. This is why we have this right here. What'd that say? Man-made religions. They took the Bible and they use it against us. They talk about John 3:16, for God so loved the world, right? That he gave his only begotten son, right? That all of us should be saved. Where was John 3:16 when that was happening? Where was John 3:16 when we was getting whipped in the fields? When we was putting on slave ships? Where was the love then? But the problem is, what they're trying to do now is they're afraid. That's why they're afraid of us. They stole our history. They stole the land from our Native American brothers here in America. They stole it. So they live in fear because they're afraid of the uprising, of us coming together. That's why they don't want black unity. That's why anytime a black figure tried to come up and bring the black community together, what happened to him? Get him out of here. He's a problem. That's what happens, right? When we come away, but it's our fault. We can't blame the white man. We can't blame the East Indian. We can't blame the Chinese. We gotta take accountability. That's what the Most High wants, for us to take accountability and come back to who we are. It's our fault. We failed. Our fathers failed us, and now we in this generation going on. We failing the next generation. But guess what? The prophets are back on the earth today, and we're waking up and we're coming back to our rightful place, and we're taking ownership. That's what we doing. We still here? All right, Numbers 1:18. So like I said, we're going into the lineage, because reminding you that how do we know who we are today? I showed you that Solomon was black. I showed you that Christ is black, right? It's no such thing as mixed race, all right? It's based on the lineage of your father. Numbers 1:18.
Numbers chapter 1 and verse 18. And they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month, and they declared their pedigrees.
Y'all know what a pedigree is?
Lineage.
Huh?
Lineage, like your lineage.
Yes, like your bloodline, your pedigree, right? Read on.
After their families, by the house of their fathers.
After their families, Because families is plural, right? So you got men, women, child in your families. By what?
By the house of their fathers.
By the house of their fathers.
What is a nation? Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support. Nation is children with role models.